Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dash user series. My name is Rahul, and I'm a solution consultant here at Dropbox, and I'm super excited that you're joining me. Before we get started, I would love for each of you to drop where you're joining from. We always love to see how far our community reaches. With that, let's just talk through a couple of reminders here. Number one, this session is being recorded. So right after this session wraps up today, you're going to get a link in your email. Feel free to share it with your team. If you want to replay this session, you'll have a link to do that. Secondly, we love questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A tab, and one of our product experts will definitely get to it before this session wraps up. And finally, please stick around till the very end. We've got some fantastic resources that we want to share with you. With that, let's talk about today's topic, Stacks Essential. Stacks is a great solution to help you organize your content. And the reason why organization is so important is because before you throw anything at AI, you want to make sure that your content is in the right place. Stacks is going to be a smart workspace, right? Think of it as a smart collection of resources that could span Dropbox, Google Drive, your Microsoft tools. So with that, let's talk a little bit more about today's agenda. So we're going to walk you through how to create stacks, how to go about collecting all this content, whether it's files or links, putting that in a single workspace. Secondly, once you've created your first stack and you're happy with it, maybe you want to share it with someone else on the team. We're going to show you how to share and collaborate using stacks. And then finally, we like to think of stacks as your self-serve resource for getting information, right? So we're going to show you how to use AI to ask questions of the content within a stack, whether that's summarizing a specific file or asking a specific question so that you can pull out an insight. We're going to show you how to do that today. So let's go ahead and check out the demo of Dash and specifically stacks.
Thanks, Rahul. I'm Angie, a CSM on the Dropbox customer success team, also a community manager within our Dropbox business groups. Come join us in the community and meet other Dash users. I'm here today to show you stacks in action and help you understand where these collaborative workspaces can be the game changer for organizing and sharing information in and outside of your team. As knowledge workers, we often work across multiple tools in our company's tech stack. So in any given day, we touch Dropbox, Gmail, Microsoft 365, and more, and are tasked with pulling together content with context. Dash Stacks helps us organize all that chaos into one workspace powered by AI. Today, I'm going to show you how to create, organize, and collaborate in stacks using real use cases, compiling assets for a campaign kit, reviewing and customizing that space, summarizing findings, and sharing out to internal and external users. So let's pretend for a moment I'm a marketing manager on Project Winter, an audiobook launching in 2026 that needs to pull together materials for a client campaign. But the files, notes, and emails are all scattered across tools. With Dash, I can search for everything related to this Project Winter campaign. This looks like agenda notes from Dropbox, presentation brief in Google Drive, timeline guide in Dropbox, the list goes on. So Dash is great about providing me a summary, as well as surfacing my most relevant content. In fact, when I see this blue checkbox on an item, I know this has been reviewed and verified to be up to date by a Dash admin at my company. So now I have options for gathering this information together. If the top couple of results are the extent of what I need, I'll just hit the Create Stack button to group my top 5 results into a single organized workspace. But if I scroll down and see that there are a couple of other items that could also fit what I'm looking for, then I can select using this checkbox here and hit Save Stack. Dash is going to auto-name based on my search, but I can rename that later. Now that we've created our workspace, let's add more content and make it even more useful. Let's say that I need to bring in the research that our team has done on an audiobook coordination to support campaign concepting. So instead of Project Winter, I'll type audiobook coordination in my search bar. And then I can select and add this item by hitting Add to Stack. Dash is going to ask me which stack I'd like to add this to based on my recent usage. Of course, Project Winter is right up top. No need to open new tabs, which is great because before Dash, I always had at least 20 tabs open and I couldn't figure out where the music was coming from. It's important to note that you can add from any connected source, no matter where it's stored. So here, this option from Microsoft 365 definitely needs to go to that stack. Now, let's make this workspace really work for us. Since part of my job is to convey the information to others in a clear way for easy consumption, let's organize it visually and contextually. Stacks aren't just folders, they're intelligent spaces. So, our first step should be to add some sections. Let's structure this campaign workspace into 2 sections: Creative Assets and Insights. Now, I just drag my content into the appropriate section. Agendas, campaign briefs, of course, belong in Insights, along with all of this research that we've done, while the visual assets will go into the Creative Assets section. Okay, now that we've organized, let's make it really shine. This first section, Creative Assets, it's picture heavy, so let's flip to Grid View. Now, my Insight section is more text heavy, and I want to guide people to take it in the best way possible. So let's go ahead and add a section summary. Doing that reminds me that I also want to customize the workspace a little bit more and edit that name. I'll also go ahead and add a cover to my space. Once that's done, I'll go here and add maybe a little emoji. Let's really lean into the winter theme. But if I don't like the offerings here, I can also upload something custom. Last, I will edit the description to just ensure that it's very clear what this stack holds. Now that the workspace is ready, let's share it with my manager and have them use Dash Chat to get up to speed quickly. Hey, Raul, mind being my manager for a second? Let's get into Raul's mindset. I've been sent to this stack, and I have about 5 minutes between meetings this morning to see what it's all about and if it's client ready. Luckily for me, Dash comes with a built-in AI chat that understands everything inside them and beyond. So let's first ask Dash to summarize this stack. You could also ask it questions like, what are our image usage guidelines from the policy doc? Or ask some of the pre-built questions that Dash will serve up. But as Raul, Angie's manager, I'm interested in understanding the project timeline. So after I read my summary, let's go ahead and demand that of Dash. Remember, Dash Chat is pulling from the stack and connected apps to answer your questions. So when connected to tools like HubSpot or Cantata, you can even ask for client summaries or project statuses directly from chat. Last, now that I've gotten my answers, I'm going to kick this back over to Angie with a comment for a final sweep of the space. We can add it here and say more images. Angie really needs to add more cover art images for the client so we can present a fully packaged and branded collection of content to them. Now we're going to break from this example and explore how stacks can serve as an information hub, ideal for onboarding or working with freelancers. Stacks makes it really easy to keep everyone on the same page, especially new teammates. Let's say I'm a new employee and the HR manager, Dan, has shared this benefits stack with me. I can see right away that Dan has utilized comments to point my attention to this specific file. I have options now. I can comment back and ask my question of Dan, or I can use Dash to help me summarize the file. This will help me ramp up fast. I love this summarize option. Part of what makes a stack so optimal for onboarding a new employee is that any content living in Dropbox that is shared within the stack automatically get shared to the recipient. So the owner doesn't have to go into each piece and individually share that Dropbox content. Also, since commenting and reactions keep feedback centralized, if new employees like me ask questions, the Stack owner Dan can make changes without confusion. Let's shift again and wrap up showing how easily you can share a Stack workspace inside or outside your org. This time, I'll be an agent who needs to share tour information with a client, Carly, so she can ensure she shows up when and where she needs to on her upcoming book tour. This stack is really straightforward. No muss or fuss, just streamlined information that the author needs. I've already got an email drafted to Carly with some remarks, so I'm just going to grab this link. Oh, but first, I will check my sharing permissions on the stack. It's set to only those invited and that they can view. That's perfect. Carly needs to see the information, not edit it. So I'll grab this link, drop it into my email, knowing that external recipients see only what's approved and AI summaries can help them get context fast, secure, and simple. So that's how Dash Stacks turns scattered content into organized, intelligent workspaces. We take you from discovery to delivery. Thanks for coming along while we built a campaign workspace, summarized and shared internally and externally, all from one place. Imagine using this flow for every client, every project, every onboarding. That's the power of Stacks. Back to you, Rule.
Wasn't that demo amazing? The best impact I've seen of Stacks has been around knowledge sharing, making it easier for the new hire on the team to quickly get up to speed with the project, or the sales colleague to quickly understand what the customer needs and wants, right? So that collaboration around Stacks is going to be critical. To build on that, though, we've got a few resources that we want to share with you. So up on the screen now, you're going to see a few QR codes. The first one is for those of you who are new to Dash and want to get started with Stacks. I encourage you to scan that first QR code and create your first stack today. If you're someone who's been using Dash for a little while and you really need a refresher on what Stacks is all about, maybe you have a few questions that you want to get answered, I encourage you to scan that second QR code, because that's going to give you access to our quick start guide, where you'll find answers to the most common questions around Stacks. What are they? How can they be used? And most importantly, what workflows can they help impact, right? Whether that's your own specific sort of private research workflow, or maybe it's a collaboration workflow that's happening within the sales team, across the marketing team, or even if it's, a stack that you want to share across the entire company. That quick start guide is going to give you some great pointers. And then finally, if you're someone who's looking for inspiration, if you're looking for ideas, if you're looking for use cases around Stacks, I encourage you to scan that third QR code, because that's going to give you access to the Dropbox Dash community. That's where you'll be able to connect with other users of Dash, learn from them, share your own ideas with them, and in the end, help shape the future of intelligent work. So with that, I want to say thank you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day today to learn more about Stacks and how they can help you better plan, to get better organized, and at the end of the day, how you can drive better knowledge sharing across the organization. We'll have a quick feedback survey that we would love for you to fill out. It's really important to us that we hear from you, hear your thoughts, your feedbacks, your comments. So thanks for taking the time, and have a great day.